Let me tell you something though.
Oh, here we go.
You know about how like birth control's in all water now?
And there's an infertility problem.
Yes. One, Alex Jones was right about the atrazine and what it does to frogs. There's a lot of crazy stuff that is actually happening. So
I didn't know that.
I love the idea of getting microplastics out of the water and having you know about how like birth control's in all water now?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
What?
yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's poisoning us that we should be like really concerned about right now. So
There's birth control in the water.
yeah. So right now, lots of women use hormonal birth control, right? And then we recycle a lot of that water. We don't actively filter out for the hormones that are in it. And so when that gets recycled, it gets put back in the water supply, and then dudes end up drinking it too. So one, Alex Jones was right about the atrazine and what it does to frogs. Two, there's a bunch of other stuff that's probably androgenizing us that's not good. So are there a lot of toxins in our environment? Yeah, totally. I would prefer that we focus making America healthy again on getting rid of those things that we do know exist rather than speculating about the World Economic Forum spraying mind control viruses over us or something. There's a lot of crazy stuff that is actually happening. So let's talk about that, all of our kids' minds are being melted by TikTok, and there's birth control in the water, and there's plastic in everything that we touch, and China is stealing all of our IP and all of our actual critical industries. And actually, my company can manipulate the weather. So those things are all real. That's more interesting to me than making stuff up.
What was the birth control thing again?
Yeah. So women are women take hormonal birth control. They then urinate. That goes into the water system. A lot of cities recycle their water, but we don't have any specific filtration mechanism for those hormones. So they just get recycled and pumped back into the municipal water supply.
So is this like a significant amount of birth control in the water?
Yes.
And there's an infertility problem.
Yes.
How does it affect males? Do you know?
It makes you more asexual. Yeah, so it makes you less of a guy and more of a sort of, I don't know, like the way that most guys are now.
The way that most guys are now. Yeah. I've heard there's so many conspiracies about the chemtrails, and I've heard that they're spraying estrogen in the air to.
Well, let me tell you something though.
Oh shit, here we go.
So the material that we use, it freezes the liquid in cloud into snowflakes that fall, right? Pure testosterone. It's not as effective, but it's almost as effective as silver iodide. So if we really want to make America healthy again,
We'll all be showered in testosterone.
I can make that happen.
Oh man, that's. Have you ever heard of Solbear?
Mm-mm.
I interviewed them about, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, and they basically had come up with this formula where they would chemtrail it with a plane and spray this solution over trees. And basically what the solution supposedly does is it's almost like a tanning lotion that you put on the trees. And it keeps it allows them to, it allows plants to do photosynthesis a lot longer than normal because I think it has to be like 72 degrees or something for that to occur. And so this enables it to do more, which would clean the air and all this other stuff. I didn't know if you had heard of them, and
No, I haven't. But
basically it helps trees grow a lot faster.
yeah, I don't know whether that is healthy or not or what it's made of, but if it is helping green stuff.
It works. They gave me a bunch of samples. I sprayed it all
Really?
over a bunch of trees, and they blew up.
No way.
Yeah, to 100%, it works.
That's fascinating because long term, Rainmaker has to do more than just making it rain more, right? We have to automate tree planting, we have to figure out how to make the trees grow faster, or we have to make sure that the soil retains more water. So that tech sounds super, super interesting.
So that's an interesting point, because when you were talking about, greening the Sahara, I mean, where would the soil come from?
So rather than the Sahara, right? Let's like take Arizona as an example. Kingston, Arizona, a lot of that soil is the same mineral content as the Central Valley. It's just not productive because there's not enough water, right? So there's a ton of areas in the world where it's like ready to farm if only for water supply. So like you can start with those and you don't need to change the soil too much. Now, in the case of a lot more arid regions, how do you get the amount of nutrients and water to stay in the soil for actual plants to grow? Because if you plant a seed in sand, like probably no dice, right? There's these things called hydrogels or biochar or just like manure that you can till into the soil to, one, put nutrients there, and two, allow the soil to retain more water. So if you just have an automated tractor or combine or something that grates the soil, mixes in, this water retaining material, then that instantly becomes much, much, much more arable.
Interesting. Let's talk about how this all works.
Okay.
How does it work? No matter where you're watching Sean Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.